everyone, welcome to my channel. I am a wife, a mom of 3, and have spent most of my married years as a homemaker. It has been such a blessing to me to be able to raise my 3 children at home and be able to be there for each of their memories. But being a stay-at-home mom is also a challenge as you are living off of a single income. I have learned so many things over the past years of money, how to stretch my groceries, how to make a budget. I love to use cash envelopes and just living a simple, contented life. If this is something you're interested in, I hope you will stay tuned. I hope you will subscribe to my channel for future videos like this one. And so let's get started. The other day, my sister-in-law was telling me about the increasing number of clients who are coming into the bank where she works as a loan officer. She was telling me that many of these people are coming in to get loans because they can't cover their regular bills. And so they were trying to consolidate these bills into one loan. This alone kind of stuck out to me as I thought, that means people aren't able to pay their regular bills. Often I look around and I don't see anybody's lifestyle changing, even though in the news I hear constantly that, oh, inflation is up, the economy is down. Other times I hear that the economy is higher than it's ever been. I hear that the stock market is higher than it's ever been. It's all rather confusing, but I think we all know from our own personal lives that this isn't really the real story. If you've gone to the grocery store lately, it's kind of hard to argue that things are better than they used to be. I personally love drinking Pepsi. I've loved it all my life. And it's been rather painful for me to go from paying what used to be $5 for a cube of Pepsi, 24 cans, to now it costs $6.49 for only 12 cans. That's half the amount, but the price is greater. The other day I got my mail and opened up a bill which had gone up $20 from what it used to be. $20 more a month, $240 a year. And that was the 4th bill that had gone up in this year alone, and we're only into April. All this to say that no matter what the news tells us, money is tight, and we have to be intentional and vigilant to make our money stretch and to be as frugal as we can. I'm thankful to have been raised in a family that taught me about money and was very frugal from the beginning. My grandfather was a child of the Great Depression, and so he was frugal all his life. And after that, he became a farmer, and he built his own farm with his own sweat and tears. But he owned every single thing that he bought. Whether it was a tractor, a new cow, name it, he owned it without debt. He passed on those values to my mom, who passed those values on to me. My mom was a homemaker. My dad was a teacher who would paint houses in the summer. But she lived on a single income all her life. I remember going to the grocery store with her, and she would have an old envelope filled with the cash inside for her grocery budget. And as we walked through the store, she would have a calculator in hand and a pen and paper, and she'd be writing down the price of everything she bought so that she could make sure she had enough money for what she was going to purchase. When I was a child, I remember having smaller Christmases than many of my friends. I remember the year of the Cabbage Patches. I had received the most beautiful Cabbage Patch, and I loved her so dearly. But I went to my friend's house where she had received 6 Cabbage Patches that year. But as I look back, I would not trade the memories of our small Christmases. I wouldn't trade knowing the sacrifice that went into each one of our small but very precious gifts that were given to us in love. And those values that my parents taught us and learning to be content even when we may not have what everybody else has been such a blessing to me in my own life now as a married woman. I remember when I was first married and I first discovered Dave Ramsey. I began reading his books, and as I would read them, I would exclaim to my husband, this is exactly how I was brought up. This is how my parents taught me. Now, they weren't the kind who would sit us down and have lessons on finances, but they taught us by example that if you didn't have the money, you didn't buy it. You had to wait. And those lessons have stayed with me for the rest of my life. Now today, I am a homemaker and a mother. My children are grown, but I have learned a lot through the years. I've been able to learn how to make our groceries stretch. I've learned how to make our money stretch. I learned how even though we had a single income, we were able to reach big goals in our life. We were able to pay off our house early. We were able to put our children through college. Now, we didn't pay all of it. We only paid half, and we required our children to pay the other half so they would have a buy-in to their own education. But they were able to start their own lives debt-free. We were able to pay for my daughter's wedding without any debt, and it was beautiful. But the challenge for me, it was almost fun, of trying to see how we could stretch our dollars and how we could pay for things without going into debt. And the best part of all is we have peace and contentment. We don't drive new cars. We've never had a new car. But we have dependable cars that were paid for with cash. We don't have all the newest technology, but what we have works, and we're blessed. And most of all, we just have a joy and peace that comes from knowing that our bills are paid, we have a little money in savings, and I hope that I can pass on some of those things to you. I hope I can teach you some of the lessons I've learned in my life of how to live within your means and how to have peace and contentment and joy in the journey. Thank you, and have a great day.